people? What up, my good people? Yes, it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. We are here live again. Live again. So I've been trying to do more because I know you all want more. So I've been trying to do more. I know you all want more. And I've been trying to be here a little bit more consistent when it comes to being on here. But I really do hope that you take heed to what I got to say today. Yeah, you already read the title. You already did all the things and saw what I got going on today. So for those who are here, say hey when you enter the room. Say hey when you enter the room. Y'all who don't know me, I got TikTok here. What's up, my TikTok? I got Instagram here. For those that are here and want to listen to what I got to say, who am I? Well, I am Lucretia. I am your girl, speaker, author, and purpose and relationship coach. And we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it today. Why? Because it needs to be talked about. This is the stuff we need to start talking about more and more as we are Christians trying to do this thing, right? And so for those who don't know me, I'm Lucretia. I'm a purpose and relationship coach. I help teach Christian single women how to date with confidence and cultivate relationships that lead to love and commitment. All right. So I am married, been married for 7 years. Yeah, and I just want to be able to share some things, not only that I learned from my dating season, but also what I've learned while married looking back into my dating season. Things that went well, things that went wrong. And I can tell you it's not a cookie cutter way of how to relay this. When I coach, it's never a cookie cutter way, right? It's never a cookie cutter way. It is always what fits you, but also what you're going to hear from me is you're going to hear truth. And you're going to hear also some Bible. You're going to hear me talk about Jesus because that's who I love. And that's how I dated with purpose. When you're talking about dating with intention, you're talking about dating with purpose. You're talking about waiting for your husband, waiting for marriage, all those things. And you're like, okay, how can I keep myself? How can I do this? How can I do that? A lot of the ways it's not what society says, to be honest with you. What I did is not what society says. So it is what I prayed about. This is what I asked my accountability people that were around me. Is what I listened to with my leaders at church. It's a lot of what I gained. So I appreciate y'all being here. So first, if you're here, I want y'all to share. Share this. All right. This is important for us. And I want y'all to ask your questions. Let's talk about it. If you here in the building, let's talk about it and show some love, y'all. Where my heart's at? Come on now. So I'm glad you're here in the room. Also subscribe and follow. There will be a replay in this, and there's plenty of replays. So if y'all don't know, if y'all have not went up to my YouTube channel, you go and click on the link in the bio. You will get to my YouTube channel where you can see all the previous videos, the lives that I've done, and When Marriage and Purpose Collide podcast. Yes, me and my husband do a podcast together where we talk about dating, relationships, marriage, love, family, all of the things, all in one spot. We invite guests on that can help encourage you as well in your single season. So it would behoove you to go into the link in the bio and make sure that you follow, you like, and subscribe, and you get all the good things. Last but not least, I wanted to share with you that I have a free material, freebie for you. So if you're like, hey sis, I want to get into this dating thing, I want to, start off the right way, all the things. Well, it's called Before You Date. It's crafting your own dating plan. I got something for you that I want you to hear at the end of this. All right. Or towards the end of this, I should say. Towards the end of it. I'll see where I'll sprinkle it in. All right. So let's talk about it. I recently put a post out that said, flirting isn't unholy. Flirting isn't unholy. Now, why did I put that out there? I put that out there because of a lot of the things that I see out there in regards to Christian women. Again, my target audience is Christian women, and I talk because I've been there. And a lot of times, these are the things that are not talked about. This is not discussed. Also, some of us have not unlearned some things in regards to what we've learned in the past about dating and relationships. I mean, there was a client of mine that I had during a session, and she specifically told me the reason why she chose to come to me was because of my experiences of being grown up in the church, but also how I was able to figure out how to date with intention and purpose, and then also to see that I'm married and able to come back and give back. Like, that was important to her. And so I feel like when I told you I'm going back into how I dated, this was one of the things that I felt like I didn't have a good grasp on, because it wasn't taught, or it's some things I didn't unlearn. So it wasn't necessarily that I didn't know how to flirt. It was that I didn't even know what I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And so I'm out there doing my thing, and thinking that, guys is going to be interested in me because I am who I am or whatever. And I really never dove deep into that. And so as I'm listening to other dating coaches, as I'm listening to other Christian women out there, I'm hearing a lot. I'm seeing a lot. I have Christian single friends, all the things. I'm seeing them date. I'm seeing them, pursue marriage, all the things. So I still have a grasp on this, and I wanted to be able to share it. Oops. So let's start off with this. The first thing is perception. What I've learned is that perception means everything. Perception means everything. You get a group of people in the room, you have them talk about a topic, embrace their opinion. They're going to have different views, different opinions. Why? Because they're people. And we have different views and opinions like that. But our perception around flirting is probably different, right? There's a lot to uncover. So the question is, let's ask the question, is why do we think it's unholy, right? Do we think that flirting cannot happen as a Christian woman? Do we feel like that can even be something that we should be doing, should be engaging in? Is it like what society standards are saying, right? Those are some questions we need to ask. Can I flirt? Am I supposed to do it? Like, all these things. And the question is, why can't we? Why can't we? So some of the things that I've been through in my life as I'm thinking about this topic is growing up in purity culture, right? Growing up in purity culture. For those who don't know about purity culture, is basically the stance of waiting till marriage. But what happened in my younger days, when waiting till marriage, waiting for the ring, it was a lot of shame and guilt packed down and put on that as a Christian teen. And so what happened is it caused me to close off a lot of things that should have been natural to us, because it wasn't taught to me the right way. Again, our parents may not know how to talk about these things. The people, of course, it's not taught correctly in education, a lot of things. So when you think about anything in regards to dating, automatically dating equals sex, right? It's like it's a equal. It never had a middle ground in there for me. So when I started, there was a lot of me that I put on guard, a lot of me that I haven't uncovered about myself, because I can't talk about it. I'm not supposed to see it. If you have it, it's shameful. And what I told somebody before is that you feel like you've reached a level because you stayed abstinent, like that was your idol. And I feel like for me, I held that as an idol for many years before I got married, because I'm like, look at me. I did all this, right? But that shouldn't be the case. We should never have anything become an idol when it comes to that. And so a lot of us put that out there, right? And so when we're thinking about anything that gets a guy's attention, when there's attention brought to you, you're already like, what am I putting off? And then you think you're over sexualizing something, or you think you're being seductive, when that's not the case, right? That's not the case. Sometimes. Depends on what you're doing. But that wasn't my intention, right? That was never the intention. And so we automatically think that that's what is happening because you're saying it, right? But nobody teaches this, right? And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Really, I'm coming from a place to where I am learning more about me, even as a married woman. But I'm also going back and letting you know what I'm learning so that I can go back and teach, right? That's basically what I'm doing. When it comes to this, it's the perception. It's purity culture for a lot of you that I've been in. A lot of this, right? Where you're still learning how to figure out your body and whatever else it is, but you grew up as a teen and now you're thinking a lot of things as an adult and you don't know how to handle things, or there's a lot of not self-control. There's a lot of guarding yourself. There's a lot of pain. It could be a lot of things that happened in your past that's shielding you from even thinking this can happen. Another thing is what we watch. What we watch gathers our perception of what we think flirting can be, right? And so if you're watching like me, you watching all these shows, or you're watching some things like you grew up and you're watching cartoons and watching those things, Cartoon Network or whatever it may be, TV shows, sitcoms, or whatever, you're seeing this aspect of flirting. And you're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's how I'm supposed to do it. And so you go out there and do what you see, right? What you hear. Or somebody else might have told you, right? And so you're thinking this is the way that it's supposed to be because I see it like this, right? Or oftentimes you're told to be competitive. I'm supposed to be competitive out there. If I'm trying to find the guy, then there's a whole bunch of other guys that are out there that I'm seeing, right? And I need to grab their attention. So how can I get their attention? Oh, well, I have to show more of myself in order to get their attention, right? I have to do things to myself in order to get their attention because I have to stand out. I got to stand above, right? You're looking at your friend group and you're like, how can I be different? I'm not saying it's wrong as far as being competitive out there, because listen, the fish is out there. You got to go catch. But it's your intention behind it. It's the intention behind it. When you're dating with intention, there's purpose behind what you're doing. And you're not doing to gain only the eyes, right? Right? You're not there for just to be over-sexualized so somebody can see you, right? That's not what the purpose of flirting is. It shouldn't be, right? And so that's one of the things I want to bring up. And then, yeah, and so, like I said, this is just something I've learned. This is something that I feel like you can't hold off on because there's different stages. There's flirting when you're in the dating stage before you're exclusive, and then there's stages of flirting when you're in the exclusive stage, and there's definitely stages of flirting that are in the married stage. And I can tell you that it was hard for me to grasp those things because nobody ever told me what the difference was or what I'm doing or how I'm supposed to do it or whatnot. And I feel like some of you out there are just like me in that case, the same way, right? You're like me, the same way. And I want to be able to share that with you. All right. So also, there's our vision and mission of what we're thinking about what a high quality man is, right? So when you think about that, when you think about high quality, you're thinking about somebody with values, thinking about also somebody with intention, somebody that shares the personal values, that are reaching goals, that are also trying to be successful out there. You're not necessarily thinking about income, not per se. You're not thinking about where they live, what car they drive. You're thinking about the character of a man. And so a lot of the high quality men that I do hear and see out there are like, I want somebody different, right? From what they see. And the different they're talking about, the high quality Christian man, I should say, is somebody that's different from the person who is not overly seductive, right? From what you see. What a man today watching something, he was basically saying, like, when he scrolled before he married his wife or dated his wife or whatnot, he scrolled on her Instagram. just a quick scroll, whatever, and he saw that she was modest about what she wore. She made sure to do that. I'm sure she made sure to do that, but that's what attracted him to her, because he didn't see everything. Right? He didn't see everything. And so he's like, oh, but I bet I'll see it when we're married. So that is what helped chase, that's what helped him pursue, because she didn't show everything. And a lot of the times when we think about flirting, we should think about it like that as well. What are you doing to help each other? Right? We're brothers and sisters in Christ, first off, right? When we think about it like that, are you helping him? Is he helping you? Like, what are you doing in the process to make sure that you're lifting him up, he's lifting you up, right? At the same time, right? So that's something I just want you to think about. This is all think about it stuff, right? Like I told you, it's no cookie cutter way. Think about it stuff, right? Think about it stuff. The next thing is, you may have flirted, you may have done all the things, but you're like, okay, something is up, because I'm not able to either attract the right attention, or I'm not getting the right guys that I would normally get, or I'm not getting that high quality man. And that might be in the way you're doing it. Again, flirting is not the only way to keep a man, to get him in, or whatever, but it is nice gestures that we do, right? When we're on dates and when we're in a relationship. Because it goes farther than that. It definitely goes farther than that. And there's ways to communicate how you like whatever. Right? Am I right? Put in the chat if I'm right. And if you're here and you have any questions about anything while I'm talking about it, please go ahead and put in the chat. Let me know. Like I said, there's phases of relationship. I already brought that up. Okay. And then also what I'm not saying, right? This is what I'm not saying. I'm not saying you can't dress the best and you can't be sexy for you. Right? In order to get a man to notice you. There's different ways you can do this, right? This is something I had to learn. This did not come easy for me, but there's different ways we can dress, right? That is not doing too much. He can tell when you're doing the most. Case in point, I remember college days for me. College days, freshman year, bring it on back. Just come on, really bring it on back. I remember that I met a guy online and we were going to meet outside of my residence hall, my dorm. And so I had planned on an outfit that I was going to wear. Had planned on an outfit. I was ready, good to go. It was a jeans, blouse, whatever. I don't even know. Maybe it was a sweatshirt. I have no idea. It was just me, right? My roommate came in, found out what I was doing, and was like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to meet the guy I met online. She's like, no, you're not dressing like that. And I said, why not? Like, why can't I wear this? And she's like, no, you're not doing that on the first time meeting him. And I'm like, this is who I am. And she went to my closet and she picked out, now I don't even know why I had this skirt. I ain't never wore this skirt. I think I may have bought it. I don't know. But it was a skirt that kind of like came a little bit up the thigh, right? And then it was a shirt that was just like showing a little bit of cleave, right? And mind you, none of my pictures on social media, well, at the time, had anything to like that. And so, but I was very uncomfortable. But I proceeded to meet him, and and I came outside and you could tell the look on his face. And it wasn't probably about what I was wearing, but how I felt when I was wearing it. And so there's a difference there, right? I didn't feel comfortable wearing it first off. So he could sense that. And then he's never seen me in anything like that. So he's like, what you doing? Right? And so it was a little bit of thing. And I'm here trying to just awkward black girl stage, right? Just that. And let me just tell you, nothing ever went anywhere with that. And I know that's probably the reason why, is because I wasn't comfortable, and I was overdoing it. I probably was okay modestly. I was probably okay in the okay zone, but I didn't feel comfortable. We should be comfortable also with how we feel about this, right? We should be comfortable with what we do. We shouldn't be doing the most, because men can tell when we're doing the most and we're not confident about what we're doing. All right. That's another thing. So yeah, so let me throw in this real quick as far as when we're thinking about how we should be wearing things, right? We're thinking about what we're wearing, right? There's still ways to be modest, and there's still ways to still listen. Y'all know we still have curves. We got things to accentuate, but we don't have to show it off, right? And I think we feel like we have to do that sometimes, and we don't have to do that, right? The thing is, when you wear some clothing, and I've noticed when you look at friends, you look at your own body, you look in the mirror, you could try to hide it all you want. It's just the curves that are popping, and can't you do nothing about that. And the man knows that too, and you still could be covered, right? You still could be covered, and you ain't got to show all the things. But he gonna look, he's a physical creature, right? But you don't have to do that much in order to get his attention, is what I'm saying, right? And so when we think about what the Bible says in 1 Timothy 2, 9 through 10, it says, likewise, also the women should adorn themselves in a respectful apparel with modesty, self-control. Now, it does go on to not with braided hair, gold or pearls, costly attire, but with what is proper for a woman who profess godliness and good works, right? Now, mind you, this is what is written back in the culture of those days. So when you're thinking about not braided hair and gold, pearls, costly attire, all those things, that is what was in culture those days. But the main thing here is how we should adorn ourselves, respectful apparel, right? All those things. Who profess godliness with good works. What are we showing, right? What are we showing? When we're on our first impressions, what are we showing to him? Are we modest? Are we adorning ourselves? Are we in respectful apparel, right? I can tell you something that I said I wasn't going to be here long, but bear with me. My husband, I remember him saying to me when we were dating, and we were already exclusive in an exclusive relationship. I had wore something, and it was like it was showing a little much for him. I should say this. It was showing a little much for him. And I'm just cool. Like, I'm great, confident, just out. It's hot, in the summertime and doing my thing, da 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 da. And he came to me and he said, "Hey, just want to let you know that what you're wearing is a little much for me, and I feel," remember he used the I feel like we all should do. "I feel a little tempted by that," right? And so most women would be like, "Oh, he telling you what to do, oh, no man should tell you what to wear." He's actually telling me what I'm wearing is making him feel a certain way, right? He has self-control. I know it, because there's a lot of things that we could have done prior to that. And I don't want to make him fall, right? And so there's things that you can communicate with your partner, but it's something that we have to remind ourselves when we're going out and when we're with them, right? You don't have to do all the things to be called flirting, is what I'm saying. That's basically what I'm saying. How we speak, right? Ephesians 4:29 says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that they may benefit those who listen," right? So if we're thinking about him being a brother in Christ, y'all not married yet, right? Some of y'all trying to just be in the friendship stage, at least at first. What are we saying out of our mouths? There's different things that we can do, right? Is your voice getting low? How late at night are you speaking to him, right? What are you saying when you're texting? All those things, you don't have to go overboard with that. And lastly, you don't have to be physical, right? You don't have to be physical to be called flirt. I think some people think automatically, like I did, because I did not learn what it meant, is we automatically think we have to touch him in order to flirt. That is not what you have to do. You can touch to flirt. You don't have to touch to flirt, right? The question is, should you be? Is he comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with him doing that? Right? It's a lot of questions I'm just throwing at you that you have to consider when you're talking about dating with purpose and intention. All right? And so here's some things that you can do. And a lot of you, let me pause here and let you know that I have just launched my Can't Wait to Date coaching sessions. All right. It is open now. It is open now. So a lot of the things that I'm really briefly going over some of the things, but we dive in deep on you, on your strategy, on what's comfortable for you in these sessions, right? So all you have to do is head up to the link in my bio and you could go ahead and learn more. And I cannot wait to walk with you through this process of what dating could look like for you, right? As a Christian woman, right? It's crazy out there. And sometimes you just need somebody to walk alongside you. And I plan to be that for you, right? So if you're like, sis, I need to go deeper into this because I want to know. I want to know. Like, we're talking about this. We dive deeper into this. We do some scenarios. We'll talk about the conversations you need to have, early dating conversations. We'll talk about the values, right? We'll talk about what phase you're in and what phase you're in to where how I can help you build that strategy, make you confident, right? Get you to build your confidence in this. Thank you so much, Lanice, for joining. Thank you so much. All right. So I need you to realize that. So here's some things that you can do, right? Here's some things that you can do when it's flirting, and it's not what society standards may say. It's not what you've been seeing out there because you haven't been seeing a lot of Christian people talk about this, right? Here's some things you can do. And let me tell you this, you already might be doing it. You just got to activate it a little bit more. You might not know that you're doing it. You just got to activate it. So some things here is take note of the little things about him. What little things did he share about you? What did he talk about? What's his favorite sports team, or what's some of the childhood things that he may have brought up in conversations in past when he texted you or whatnot? What are little things? Bring it up later in conversation. Let him know that you are listening to him, right? That you're listening and that you know a little bit about him. This is what builds interest. All these things that I'm telling you is what's helping you have your interest level built so that he can choose you. A lot of women are like, I don't understand. Like, he ghosted me. I didn't hear from him again. He went out on a few dates. We talked on the phone, all these things. And yet you're wondering why. It's because you think that you have everything together. You think you know how to do it. And you might very well be, but you might be missing out on a few things here that can help you, right? Win over the conversation just by being you, but adding a little tweak, all right? Flattery is important, right? So on date night, when you're talking to him or whatever it may be, you're remembering stories and you're bringing it up later in conversation. So recently we went out on a date with my husband. I went on a date with my husband. I said we. I went on a date with my husband, and I know he loves anime. He watches it all the time, right? For years. He's into video games, anime, all these things. So what I do is I ask him a question. I said, hey, if you could produce a film, an anime film, what would it be? And this really piqued his interest. It was really something that he was like, oh, wow, like I never thought about this before. I really like that you asked this. And it was something that he was very interested in. And he's like, you were listening, you know me, you understand me. It's something I'm not interested in. I don't get into this stuff like that. But I have to put myself down, like sacrifice a little bit of the conversation where everything doesn't have to be about me and lean in him. So now you can communicate back and forth. That way he's talking now. And so now he's like, oh, there's interest here, right? There's interest here because now he's going back and forth. So that was something he said that was one of the best dates I've had. Are you making him laugh? Small jokes, lighten the mood a little bit. Are we just stiff? Like, laugh a little, girl. Come on, sis. Give out a little laugh, right? Smile. Look happy. Smiling, looking happy you're seen as confident. That's what I'm trying to say, right? You're confident about it, regardless of what's going on. Smile through it. Lean in through it, right? Right? And so we just have to know, and there's so much more that I did not provide here because the stuff gets real in our dating strategy that we'll come together with in the can't wait to date sessions, right? Because I want you to be able to say, I cannot wait to date. I can't wait to date. Not, I gotta date, right? I want you to be able to say, I can't wait to date. Like, I can't wait to get out there again. I can't wait. You just need a little nudge here and there. And that's what sessions I have. So if that's you, please go ahead and scroll up to the link in my bio, and let's do a strategy session together. Let's talk about this, right? Right? So, listen, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you have any questions or anything when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, I'll be here for a little second. Well, I'll give you some time, but I want to let you know that season 5 of When Marriage and Purpose Collide will be out soon. Like, actually a couple weeks. We about to be doing this thing. And so if you have not, we are on Spotify, Apple, other podcast streaming platforms, as well as YouTube. Okay, so you can catch some old episodes there. If you like, make sure you comment, like, subscribe there as well. But also we in a few weeks we're coming with season 5. And season 5 is about to be jam-packed with some good stuff, y'all. I can't wait. And so anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and investing your time in this live. Again, if you're not following me, please do. If you're not subscribed to me, please do. If you haven't listened to When Marriage and Purpose Collide, please do. All right. But I do love y'all, and I want y'all to have a blessed and marvelous night. All right. Peace out.